Hello, this is Dr. Linda Martin off mute and the Safety Struggle podcast. And I'm coming to you today to kick the training wheels off of not having a guest with me. And I thought I'd do a short tutorial for those of you who are coming to the end of the year and you're starting to think about where am I going to spend my money? How am I going to spend my money? How am I going to get my research points that I need for my certifications? Um, there are also some professional development opportunities that I'm going to talk about. And I just want to tell you all that not everything costs money. Isn't that crazy? Not everything costs money. And so, as one of my dissertation students likes to say, you can, if you look through the guidance documents for many of the organizations that we all hold certifications from, there are different ways to hold to get the points, right? You can hold office in different organizations. You can have professional practice. You can do a bunch of different things, right? One of the most common ways to get your professional development points or your CEUs or your contact hours, that's what we're going to call them, is to do some type of, at this point, because of the pandemic, online training, right? And so many of you are in school. You should know that a lot of your courses count towards contact hours, professional development hours. Some of them have CEUs attached. It just all depends. So I'm going to take you as kind of part of my favorite things is to find things for free online. And I see Pedro Maciel is with me. I think he might be the only one with me right now, but this will be replayed later. But one of the best ways is free 99. Isn't that right, Pedro? Free 99 squad. And that I'm going to attribute that to Pedro Maciel and the X Factor of Safety, who's with us here. You should check out his podcast. As well as my podcast, The Safety Struggle. But let's see if I can share my screen and I'll show you a few places to go on the internet to find this free stuff, right? And just know that even if you don't have a certification, you can go to these different sites, type in some search words, and find a bunch of things that are going to teach you new things in the profession. So, super important. If you guys out there, free 90, free 99, free 90 free, Justin. So if you guys out there that are listening, looks like I'm getting some more viewers. If you have some free places, please type them into the chat and I'll share them. I'm just kind of thinking about, what am I going to do over this next year as I work on a teacher's budget. So here we go. Give me a little bit while I share my screen, and again, show me give me a little latitude here while I do this by myself. So I'm going to share my screen, and I got to find the right window. Here we go. Or not. All right. So, one of the credentials that I have is through the BCSP, but we're going to hop off that page real quick because I was looking at their certification stuff. And first one we're going to go to is FEMA. Now, FEMA is something, if you've taken online courses before, FEMA, they do some independent study courses. If you go right to training.fema.gov and you go right over here to independent study, you see that they have a number of courses. I'm going to click on independent study so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. And you can scroll down. There are a number. You have to create a FEMA ID so that they can track your professional education requirements and the courses you're taking. But if you go in right in here into the course list, you can see they've got a bunch of courses here. They're all free. There may be some exceptions, but most of them are free. And they do have CEUs that are associated with them. So there are a heck of a lot of courses here. There's looks like at least 14 pages of courses that you can go in, take for free, take the competency exam, get a certificate, and use that as long as the organization allows. You can apply those towards your continuing education requirements. I also suggest that they're very good for just learning things about emergency management. There's some hazardous waste courses in here. There's some incident command system courses, tons of good stuff. So I'm just going to hop back a little bit. And again, this is training.fema.gov. So there's your first one. And I'm going to hop back here and look at the comments. That's awesome. Okay, so again, if you guys think of anything else as I'm going along, make sure that you type them in the comments here. FEMA, I think, is one of the best known for CEUs, free CEUs. Let's go next to something I found today, which I thought was really cool. And no, I'm not being paid to do this, but Procore, which has some software for construction companies, they also have, I typed in free professional education for safety professionals. And in here, they've got a ton of things for construction, but you can actually go right into their health and safety section. And there are a ton of really neat things that you can learn about. You know, you can learn about POT, you can learn about health and wellness, proactive preventative strategies. They tell a little bit about the course. I'm not sure if these would qualify just because I don't see in here the amount of hours that are there, but you do get a certificate. So it's worth asking which organizations approve of these credits. And like you see here, there are a bunch of people that take those credits. If you're a PMP, I don't see in some of the safety certification bodies, but also a great place to find some cool courses. So again, that's education.procore.com. So one of the other things that I've used in the past to fulfill some of my certification maintenance requirements, you see now that there are bodies that are offering packages of credits or packages of credits for conferences or just kind of like the whole experience for the professional. You buy one time and you get a bunch of credits. Well, some of these are really expensive. So I just wanted to draw your attention to the GBES, which is the Green Building Association. They do the LEED credentials, and they do have unlimited access to test prep. Sorry about this, Heather. Get rid of you. If you hit that option, it's $247 a year. I think right now during Cyber Week, there are some discounts that you can apply to that and get that down even lower. And there are a bunch of also environmental credits in here, hazardous materials credits, etc., that might fit some of the categories in like the BCSP scheme or the ABIH. But again, I don't speak for them. I'm just telling you that, in the past, I've used some of these as continuing education credit areas to get credit. And this $247 a year. And if you get a coupon, which there's usually a coupon for this site, you can possibly get it cheaper, actually much cheaper today. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was the CDC. The CDC, we usually think of that for health professionals. Nurses and doctors and pharmacists, etc., have to go on the CDC or other websites for courses. As we know, there's a pandemic going on right now. And so there are a lot of free courses out there with contact hours and continuing education under the health area. And so you might want to look up the training, tceols.cdc.gov. And this is their training and continuing education online. There are also CEUs involved in these courses, and you can ask for a certificate, and hopefully that will get you part of the way there. So I'm just going to pop back into the chat, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen because that's just a big white spot in there. And I'm going to ask you guys. I see there's probably 5 or 6, maybe 10 people on the chat. Yeah, David, FEMA is a great opportunity to get a lot of those emergency management courses or competencies taken care of if those are part of your renewal requirements. So that's something that I've built into courses before. I know a lot of universities are building them into courses, but you can go on there and you can get a ton of credits. Um, Certainly, you're going to have to spend the time in the seat and take the competency test, but those are there for the taking and they're free. So, here's another tip. Again, I went on and all I did was say free CEUs for safety professionals, and I figured out a way to just kind of go through the Google results. And there are people out there that are offering those things. I know in the past, if you, and I don't know, don't quote me on this, but if you were a Granger customer in the past, and this may be wrong at this time, so I just want to say it. Sometimes people like Granger or other um, cool places where you buy your equipment from or you get your safety training from, they will offer free CEU courses for safety professionals that you can tap into as part of their service of being a customer. So, again, I mentioned Granger because back in the day when I was practicing like you all, um, I could actually go to Granger because I bought from Granger and I would be able to take courses through them for CEU credits. So that was super cool. Justin in the chat, Justin Overstreet says Texas Engineering Extension Service, TEEX, is also a good resource. Justin, are they expensive, those courses, or are they I mean, I don't even know what TEEX courses cost, but are they online? Are they expensive, etc.? And thanks, Ed, for confirming that Granger can help. I think some of the Granger stuff is lower cost than what you're seeing from the certification bodies and the membership organizations and people who that's all they do is professional development. If you're paying upwards of a couple $100 per hour, you may be going down the wrong street to get some of these maintenance requirements taken care of. So, I mean, really, that's all I had. I just wanted to pop in here, kick off the training wheels, and tell you all that this is one of my favorite things is to find things for free. And that's something I share with my buddy Pedro. And so uh, go on, find some resources. This will be left up for people who want to kind of go back and look at the websites that I popped up. But if you are looking at this at a later time and you're in another country or you're in another locale and you have some tips for people to look at to get free professional development, that would be fantastic because our whole purpose in this life is to work together. None of us is as strong as all of us, and to be one as a safety profession. So just before I go, Justin did answer me. He said they are a bit costly for some, but they do offer training paths and certifications. And I do agree with that. We have a training center out here on the East Coast, and they've completely gone online because of COVID. I think they have some hybrid courses. They possibly do have some in person, but a much lesser volume than they did before. So, anyways, I just wanted to say hello, y'all. I don't have a guest this time. It wasn't that bad. And I just wanted to tell you happy holidays. Listen to the safety struggle, listen to Pedro Maciel show the X factor of safety, check us out. And I'm going to be doing a bunch of pop-ups like this with some of my favorite things. And just know that none of this is promoted in any way. I'm not being sponsored to tell you what my favorite things are. I'm just telling you because all of us have favorite things. So the other thing before I go is you can send me a message at thelorax@safetystruggle.com, thelorax@safetystruggle.com, and tell me about your favorite things. And I'll actually give you credit in one of my posts on my Safety Struggle page or in one of these pop-up daily things that I'm going to do just to kind of talk with you all. So thanks for listening to Linda Martin and the Safety Struggle. And y'all have a great day.